can't get the sun gun to work right. My controller ain't And we're going to take this flagpole here and we're going to weld some gussets on the end of it for a base. My controller here has got something going on with it. I'm going to have to take it somewhere and let them fix it. It got wet here one time. It's supposed to be waterproof, but ever since it got wet, I ain't had nothing but trouble out of it. Looks like it'll go into a lock mode, and it won't respond with the, there you go. It'll take a spell and it'll respond and then it'll quit. Everything I got adding up my computer problems out of it. Just one thing after another. It's got something to do with some kind of computer chip or some kind of board or something every time you turn around. It may have something to do with this thing here. That's something to look into right there, that piece. Let's see if we can take a piece of sandpaper or something and mess with that sensor up there and see if that'll help it out. But I noticed for the last little while, ever since it got wet, that controller is cutting up. All right, so what we're going to end up doing here is basically I want to put some gussets on this thing, but I want them in a certain spot. I want them in a certain spot so I can make sure where I put my bolts at. For it to bolt down on that concrete cut there, I'll make sure my bolts is going to be not somewhere where the gusset is sticking up at. Because once you bolt them anchor bolts down in that concrete and that concrete gets hard, that's it. They are where they are. You ain't going to move them without a whole lot of work, busting everything up, redoing it. So you always kind of got to plan everything ahead so you don't run up with a problem later on. So, and we want this pole to be able to be standing up straight whenever we stand it up down there. We want it to be standing straight. Cut it off. What we want to do is I got a little plate here. This ain't the plate I'm going to use. This ain't the plate I'm going to use, but I can stick it up here to kind of give me an idea of where I need to place them gussets and just tack it and then grind it back off. The plate I'm going to put on the bottom of it is a 1/2 inch piece of steel. So I need to kind of have something in order when I get ready to pick it up, because that 1/2 inch by 2 foot by 2 foot, it's got a little bit of weight to it. It ain't something you just want to stand there and be holding on to. So the first gusset that I would put, I'm going to go around and kind of check the bottom of my plate here. So this one here, I need to be sticking out about I was sticking out about well, I could probably be flush with the bottom of that one and be all right. So we don't want the gusset plate to be tight. I want a little gap in there to give me a little something to weld to. But we went back on the inside the other day and we cut another piece of pipe 2 foot long, the same size as this pipe. I split it down the middle and I pushed it up in there 2 foot and I drilled holes and I welded the holes back solid. So it made this 1/8 of an inch pipe be a 1/4 inch pipe 2 foot up. And that's where your weight's going to be pushing at on this pipe, is right here on the bottom where it's sitting. So we beefed it up a little bit and turned it into a 1/4 inch pipe up to 2 foot. So now what I want to do is get my gussets situated where I want them at. So I'm going to offset my bolts based on where I put my gussets at. So I wanted my gussets, and I'm gonna put 4 of them on here. I wanted one in line with the gusset on the top, one in line with the one on the bottom, and then 2 on a 90-degree angle here. So that's what we're going to shoot for. These are the gussets I cut the other day. It's just a piece of 3/8, steel. I think it's 6 wide at the long point, the short way, and 8 or 10 at the long point the other way. So we got a 6x10 gusset, and that's going to make us roughly, we're going to be about just a little over 20 inches wide from point to point. So if I put me a 24-inch base on there and I come in 1 inch from each side, then we should be good as far as not being able to hit nothing. So we want to turn this thing up just a little bit. You turn the brake on. Always that one thing, you just can't get it. Get the Kool-Aid, no sugar. Tea, no ice. Get it together. Get it together. Get it together. Get it together. We're going to turn it up so we can burn in there good. Let's see what's a good number. And we'll go 450. We'll go 21.5. 475. We'll go 475. 21.5. Get us a little bit of gas here. That's close enough. Trying to make me look bad. Huh? Is that what you're trying to do? Trying to make me look bad? All right, so we'll let it hang out here from the edge about 3/16 of an inch. And we'll just give us a little tack. And I ain't trying to get them perfect. I'm getting them eyeball straight. And I don't have any kind of vise built to clamp them down in to get perfect measurements off of it. So I'm looking at them. I'm getting them pretty straight up and down. Pretty straight the long way. And we're going to call it good. And we're just going to tack them on here good to start with. Make sure we get them all on here. And then we'll come back and weld them up because I don't know if I got enough wire to weld them all. So Gotta give them time to cool a little bit anyway. We'll do the top, then we'll do the bottom. That way I can kind of eyeball them up with one another. And then we'll come back and we'll flip it over and we can kind of get a better idea where 90's at. We'll just eyeball it where it looks like it's pretty straight up and down. And we'll take some of this mess off here. I'll probably wait to paint this thing or put the coating on it while it's standing up in the air. When I get it mounted, I'll sand it or whatever I'm gonna do to it. And that's probably how we'll do it. So what I'm gonna do here is the same thing. I'm gonna just use that square and try to get as close to where I need to be with that square. And then when I get ready to weld my actual piece on, I'll go back and play with it a little bit more. Trying to get it even closer. So basically, if you get it out of square just a little bit down here on this end, by the time you get to the top of that 26 foot up there, you're going to be way out. The pole's going to be leaning over a lot. So we'll get these as square as we can. And then when we come back with that plate, we'll do a little better. Same thing here, we're just trying to look at it, get it halfway straight. It looks like it could have went back to the right about an eighth, but we're going to call it good right there where it's at. Welding outside up under a building, open shelter like this, when that wind blows, it'll blow your shielding gas away from the tip there, and it'll mess with your weld. And when I drilled my holes in here, when I went back and put the 2-foot piece of pipe inside of there where I drilled my holes at, I tried to drill them right there close where my gussets was going to be. So it's holding right here. I didn't come here and drill my holes and weld it over here and let this be loose. I drilled the holes about where my gussets were going to be going. Just any little thing that can make it just a little bit stronger, it helps. Like I said, I'm not a welder by professional. I just do my own little stuff, what I need to do when I need to do it, but I know how to do it good enough to do what I need to do. If I did it every day, it'd be a different story. But we're just going to roll it around 90 degrees. I'm going to just check it here. Go ahead and grind that mess off of it. Mm-hmm. So it looks like the gusset needs to be sticking out at least 3/16 of an inch. So the bottom of this plate here, where this thing was cut off, it may not be perfectly straight around that round part. It may be close, but there may be some parts that's got a little heel or something going on there. So for the most part of it, we're going, and we'll go with the one that's closest in, because I can always go back and trim just a little bit more off of that bottom one there. So. And right here where I need to be at is I had some holes welded. I had some holes welded for a wire and a cable clamp, and it looks like my gusset's gonna go in them holes. And if it does, that's all right. I'll just weld them 2 holes up and drill something else. But I want to kind of get center. Where I need to be at. So I'm thinking I need to come over just a hair. That looks like center. Yeah. So that's pretty close to the center. I might miss the holes with the gusset, but the weld might cover them up. All right, so we're spinning another 90 degrees. Well, we got to spin it 180 this time. I got to spin that all the way down. Pretty close. Let's see if it's off just a little bit. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. All right, so this will be the last one. What I want to do is check the bottoms of them to start with, just see how far I'm away. Eyeball. And that one there's got to be grinded down a little bit. Or I could go out with that one. Leave that one up. So that would be the one to sit on the bottom. That looks like the lowest one. Yeah. So that bottom one down here, we'll mark it. This will be the one that'll set the tightest on the plate. So we know that. We're going to go ahead and just mark it. So this one here will set the tightest on the plate. These other ones will have just a little gap in them. And we'll go back and if we need to slice a little bit at the bottom, we will. So we know we want to be at least we don't want to go out quite as far as that one is. So we want to come out. That there's getting close to about 1/4 inch. We'll come back in just a hair. I don't want to be out that far. We're splitting difference about there. Same thing, we'll just eyeball it. Once you get it tacked there, you don't need that square no more. You ain't gonna move it unless you cut it back loose. In and out. You can move it sideways, but you ain't gonna move it in and out. That's gonna be close for what we're doing. All right, so that'll get down pretty thin on the wire. I don't know if I got enough to weld it up, but I'm gonna weld whatever I can weld. We'll weld one side, let it cool, and then we'll come out and weld the other side. What we'll do, we'll rotate it. We'll rotate it 90. We'll weld some more. I got right in the edge of my hole there. I don't think I'll end up welding it up, because I can't get my rubber piece to go back in there and fit tight. It's going to be hung up on the side of that weld. So what I'll do is I'll weld that hole up and I'll weld that hole up. I'll come up here and I'll drill my 2 new ones. These ain't welding gloves. These are just regular work gloves. So if you get hands up too close to that mess, it will get hot. And that's what just happened. It got hot. I had to stop. All right, so we'll rotate it 90 more. We'll keep right on until we run out of wire or get finished. One of the two, whichever one comes first. And I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna change this glove so I can rest my hand on there a little bit closer. Get me a glove. I can rest my hand on that plate a little bit more smoother. You can't rest your hand on them plates with them little old thin gloves like that. It gets too hot. All right, so we're just gonna let it cool right there where it's at, and we'll get us another spool of wire. That way, when we get the plate up here to weld it, we ain't gonna run out of wire halfway through. So I still got a couple. Well, we'll go ahead and weld them holes up. Where they at? Right here. We'll weld these holes back shut. All right, so we'll come up here somewhere, anywhere. We'll figure which is going to be the front, which is going to be the back of it, and we'll probably we'll go to the back side and drill a couple holes. So it looks like either way, we could just move down and drill two new ones. We'll let it cool. That pipe's pretty hot right now. All that welding on it, so we'll just let it cool. We ain't in no big hurry. And we'll come back.